Right, today we're going to try testing the Level IIA Kevlar panel with the chainmail type stab-proof layer in front against various swords. So what swords am I going to use? Well, on the left I have the Cold Steel Gladius Machete. This has got quite a wide point, so how well it will cut through I don't know. I have my commissioned Heron Armoury Falchion. So that's a short sort of cleaving sword, but it's got quite a nasty point on it. And then the longest one of the lot, we have the Hanwei sort of medieval arming sword, which is sort of like a long sword but a bit shorter. And that should have a lot of pressure applied to the point when it's thrust, because it's obviously a very long sword with a narrow point. So, will any of these penetrate? I think as you go from left to right, the chance becomes more likely that you'll penetrate. I think the big sword will have no issue. The falchion could probably do it, and maybe the cold steel one will. But we'll have a go and we'll see if anything will go through this. First test, we have the Gladius Machete. Absolutely no penetration. Next up, the Heron Armoury's Falchion sword. Some marks on the back. You might be able to see a couple little marks. One here, I think this one was from the broadhead test I did before. There's a little cut there, but nothing substantial. That wouldn't have gone far enough through to have been at all lethal, but this is a very nice sword regardless. Now last of all, we have the Hanwei Medieval arming sword. You can hear a bit of rattle on there with the handguard not being completely secure, but let's try it. Again, no real impact. I'm going to try something a bit different now. I'm going to try stabbing through the back layer rather than the other way around. You can see that's definitely gone in. But by the look of it, nothing's come out the other side. That surprises me. It really does surprise me. Now, I'm going to try the Cold Steel Gladius one last time because it doesn't bend as much as a proper sword, so we'll see if that makes a difference. Now, you won't be able to see this on the camera, but there have been some slight indentations to the Kevlar on this side. So, out of everything, because this blade doesn't bend, this goes through the most efficiently. But this chainmail on the front does a surprisingly good job of actually stopping a sword from entering. So the chainmail does its job just like its medieval counterpart. Now, one thing I do wonder is if I was to swing down on this. Again, chainmail does its job, blocks it. This is surprisingly good stuff, this Kevlar. I was expecting it to be a lot weaker than this before I started tests. Now, this test has really surprised me, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that thin chainmail layer on the Kevlar to hold up so well. When I stabbed it from the reverse, the Gladius did manage to actually have quite an impact. It's made slight holes on this side, but it has still struggled to get all the way through the Kevlar. So this stuff gives you a lot more protection than I thought it would. This is level 2A Kevlar. I imagine the higher the ballistic rating it will be slightly better at stopping blades, but obviously this chainmail stuff on the front does do a really nice job. You can see the more tests I do on this, the more the chainmail's ripping apart, but for actual use this could well save your life. I'm going to do another video at some point of me testing it with common bladed weapons like short knives, and we'll see what effect they have. But yeah, this is surprisingly strong stuff. A Gladius, a Falchion and a sort of arming sword couldn't get through it. Obviously there are people who are far more skilled in swords than me. I'm an amateur, so they'd probably do a better job of it, but the actual stuff holds up against brute force pretty well.